Mr. Hayden Love. Okay. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. We're here with Mr. Hayden, my,
What's up, guys?
my college roommate freshman year. Just wanted to get a little thanks out of the way. I know a lot of you have been texting me very nice messages saying to keep it up, don't stop, and you appreciate the videos I've been putting out. So thank you for those kind words. And let's get into it. So how this works is my last two guests, Brandon and Justin, the way when you end the podcast, they ask a question for their next guest without knowing who it is. And their question was, what was a pivotal turning point in your life?
That's pretty easy for me. I'd say going to Macaulay. I think it's
And what was Macaulay for people who don't know?
boarding school that I went to. It's boarders are allowed through high school, so 9 through 12, and then they do day students, which is just like regular school for most people, but that's 5 through 12 as well. But I went my junior year, 11th grade, and my senior year, and I was super shelled in before, and it kind of just blossomed me into who I am, kind of paved out a path for where I wanted to go and kind of helped me with a lot of things.
So you stayed overnight?
Yep.
Obviously, so you're a full-time boarding kid?
Yep. I had lived in the dorms just like colleges, freshman year. Lived there for year-round pretty much, apart from national holidays. Went home for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and summer. But that's about it. And I met longtime friends there that I'm still keep in contact with today. And I made a lot of good connections out there.
And how'd you kind of acclimate yourself? Because you mentioned how you were shelled in, but now, obviously, knowing you for 4 years, you're very extroverted. You'll never shy away from a conversation or to meet new people. So do you pinpoint it on being away from your family or kind of being forced to almost come out of your shell? Because if you don't, obviously, you're going to...
Yeah, so I think it's... I was never afraid to not be at home. Like I went to summer camp a lot. I went to summer camp for 12 or 11 years in a row. And the first year, I wanted to go for like 3 months straight. Didn't want to come back. And so I think the real reason that made it change my life around is kind of, it forced me to get out the house because I was always inside playing video games for a lot of time. And it kind of made me not want to talk to people. I just wasn't who I am. And like, whenever I was really young, I was extroverted. Then I got introverted. Then flip-flop when I went to Macaulay. I was forced to talk to people, forced to be in an environment where I have to be who I actually am. And I still played video games, but obviously a lot less because I have a roommate at all times and I'm always talking to somebody. But yeah, it just forced me to talk to people and not, like, if people ask me to go out, I'll be like, hey, let's do it. Or like, let's go to the dining hall. Like, of course I'm hungry. Let's go. You know?
Was that one of your parents' decisions or was that yours to go to Macaulay?
It was my decision, but brought up from my dad.
Yeah.
My dad said
It wasn't forced, but it was kind of like...
it's completely up to me. And he just brought it up because my dad obviously knew me better than I knew myself at what age is that? Like 16, 15, 16. And he's like, I think this would be a good, and one thing is like, first off, I hear boarding school. I'm like, I'm never doing that. Sounds awful because everywhere you go, for the most part, you'll hear, yeah, that's just punishment for our kids and
shipping them away. Don't want to see them. Yeah.
Yep. And I was like, all I ask you is just to check it out for me. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that. And I went on to a tour there's 2 boarding schools where mine was. There's Baylor and Macaulay. This is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I'd say I went on that tour for the first one, and it was at Baylor. And it's way more preppy, kind of the same vibe as my old high school, just more like kind of stuck up people and just like kind of
not your vibe.
Yeah. That's just not who I float with. And then I didn't even do a tour of Macaulay. I just went and hung out with one of my buddies, Clark. I didn't know him. I only knew him through school. We talked at school before, but then he left to go to Macaulay, and I just hung out with him, and we hung out in the dorms, and then we went to dinner, and I just felt the brotherhood more there, and just kind of more of what I was looking for, just people that didn't really care about the social cliques and just wanted to make the most of their time.
Yeah, you said something interesting. It was your dad wanted you to explore the option, and you said he knew you were a little better than you knew yourself. And I'm kind of reflecting on everything my dad's ever told me what to do and what not to do. And at the time, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll kind of follow what he says. He's kind of smart. And every time it has paid off
Yeah.
significantly, like when it comes to investing or sports or where going to school or getting out of my comfort zone.
Oh,
I feel like, we're especially grateful because our parents have given us opportunities to succeed. But it also takes us listening to them. You could have said, I hear what you're saying, but I don't want to go to boarding school
Yeah.
for X, Y, and B. To all your points, like you just want to ship me away.
Yeah, exactly.
Where would you be if you didn't go to Macaulay? You think? Would your life look that much different, or?
I think it looked pretty different. Like, so I started working out sophomore year and then continued working out, but then I would say I wouldn't be as inclined to seeing new opportunities, like that.
And you're still friends with a lot of people from Macaulay too, right?
Yeah, I don't talk to a lot of them, but I'm still like friends. Like I have two friends that I keep really close contact with as my two roommates senior year. But I'd say more so just being inclined to trying new things or seeing out options.
Yeah.
Because I would have probably stayed at my old high school or even switched from that high school to a different high school. I don't know. And then I probably would have just gone to Ole Miss because my entire family went there.
Yeah.
And that probably would have been where I ended up. And maybe, who knows what it would have looked like there. Maybe I would have had a pretty mean beer gut.
Would have never met me, bro.
Yeah, no.
Is there a certain pipeline when it comes to college in Macaulay? Like, is it usually Ole Miss or UArk or Georgia? Is it common if you go to a Southern boarding school, you go to a Southern college or no?
No, it's very diverse, the college spread where people go. And it's very, it's college prep. And so not forcing, but they want you to get to the highest level of college you can. It is in Tennessee. So there's a lot of day students that go to Tennessee or like anything around there just because it's close. But I would say the borders are, there's no discrepancy with
where you got to
go.
go. Was there more kids boarding or more kids commuting?
More kids day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's 60-40, about
40 stay over, or 40
board,
and
or
then
borders
60
or stay.
Interesting. And how about Arizona State? Why ASU?
So like I was saying earlier, I probably would have gone to Ole Miss. My entire family went there, and it was just kind of what I always knew, and it seemed the best for me at the time. And my dad was just saying, do as many tours as possible, just kind of see what you want. And I wasn't too certain on Ole Miss, but I didn't not think it was where I wanted to be. And then I toured Arizona State with one of my buddies, and I just thought this is the place that I need to be.
Yep.
It just felt right. It's just one of those things, like as cliche as it sounds, that's usually what it is. It's just, this is where I want to be.
So you weren't really sold on it. You were just kind of, when you were walking the campus and seeing Arizona, you were like,
I didn't even go on same thing with Macaulay. I didn't go on an official tour. I just kind of
showed up
came,
and walked it. Yeah.
Came and hung around with people and experienced the football game, kind of experienced the town a little bit.
Yep.
And then I was like, let's go back. And I brought another friend with me, and it was good fun doing that. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then I just full board onto that. So
you came here completely alone? Did you know anyone also come to ASU?
No, I knew people going to Arizona, University of Arizona, but that was from 2 people from Macaulay, 2 people from my summer camp. But I don't really talk to them anymore. So we weren't like really close friends. We were just friends at the time. And I would say I did know somebody whenever I was coming in, he was graduating. So I knew that, but I wasn't very close with him. He's just a family friend. And he's the person that like showed me around the first time.
Okay.
But I think he moved out whenever I came here, but I never even really reached out because I don't know. I was just trying to make the most of that first couple of weeks and meet as many new people as possible, because that's what everybody's trying to do. Yeah. And that's usually where you meet the people that you're probably going to hang out with the most. And
you didn't come out here with your best friend like me?
Nope.
which is crazy because where we're from, obviously, you've been to where we grew up. No one even looks at Arizona State.
Yeah, your story's pretty funny.
Yeah,
How
we came out here for our best friend.
Yeah, well, that too, and Jackie was like, you should, or was it you that said you should go to, or he should go to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember going over to his house after I submitted the security deposit so he could open up like the dorm enrollment.
Yep.
And Jackie, I think he was going to go to community college to save money.
Yeah.
And I remember I did kind of persuade his dad. I was like, no, he should come out to Arizona State.
Yeah.
Like, he should get out of his comfort zone. He should fly across the country. And he was like, that's easier for you to say, your dad's out there. I was like, yeah, but Jackie's got me. He's got Jacob. I don't know what me. We'll talk about this later, but I ended up kind of like leaving Arizona State for a little bit, which I felt horrible because I feel like I didn't bring Jackie out there, but if I didn't come here, he would have 100% went to like a University of Connecticut or like a Central Connecticut, kind of like how your family went to Ole Miss. That's exactly how it is back home.
Yeah.
But I think he's grateful he came out here, and I certainly am too.
Yeah, he literally just looked at the website.
Yeah.
This place looks awesome. Palm trees, let's do it.
Never toured it, never did anything.
Yeah.
But that's how Jackie is with anything.
Yeah, for the most part. He's just down to go with the flow.
Yeah. We'd be like, we're going to go jump off this building. He's like, okay, we're going to live? But we might. He's like, okay, let's do it.
Aim for the bushes.
Yeah, 100%. He doesn't take a lot to convince at all.
Yeah.
But, I mean, when it comes to me, you and him, let's see, freshman year, August of 22, we met. Obviously, we're still friends. The only person was that other roommate we had, who's still cool, but it's shocking that throughout, because you think about college, and it's very rare your freshman year roommate you continue to be roommates with.
Yep.
Across the board, anyone, and obviously I don't know if this is the same for you, but like, I don't know anyone that has consistently roomed with their freshman year roommate.
Yeah, it's, I know people like friend groups that have stayed together and been roommates, like on their floor, like they would continue to be friends and they would all room together. But I know one person that did it the next year, but then their roommate transferred.
Switched, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it usually lasts for 1 year, and then I'm kind of tired of this. It usually doesn't work out.
Because it's a complete stranger.
Yeah, and the way we became roommates, I had somebody lined up to be my roommate, and you're like, he's got to go, pretty much.
I DM'd Hayden on Instagram. He already had, the way it was, it's a suite, so there's 4 people. He had himself and another person already, so 2. And there was me, obviously, which is 3. And then I was like, yeah, you got to kick the person who you already have set up out so we can bring in this other kid.
Yeah, and I had the room reserved, and so he couldn't join the room unless I got him in there. And yeah.
How did I persuade you? Did I just tell you what was happening? I was like,
yeah, pretty much. I was just like, all right, cool. It's better than like not having roommates.
But we had never talked before.
You just said
a complete idiot.
You said, yo, kick that guy out. I got 3. And I was like, but I already have this dude. And you're like, no, it's okay.
I want to see if we could find those DMs because that was so funny. It's like small ones. Because if you told me to basically piss off, which you 100% should have and could have, because you already had a roommate, we would never ever met. Jackie would have never been to Arkansas. You would have never been to Connecticut.
Yeah, and
I would have never hung out with your family.
I probably would have been in a frat.
Yeah, you probably would have been in a frat.
That dude went to SAE, and so yeah,
it's crazy how that stuff works. It's these very small decisions that you make where it's like, oh, it's just a freshman year roommate. It's not going to matter. And then it turns into this 4 years later. We're sitting across.
Compound interest.
Yeah. It's good. I like that when it comes to friendships, compound interest.
Yep.
But I mean, across the board, throughout all phases of your life, you think about elementary school and middle school, and then, like you said, boarding school, high school, college. You kind of get away with like 1 or 2 friends from each of those phases. It's very rare you come out of high school with 10 friends, and then through college you have those same 10 friends, and you're just as close as you were. Yeah.
Contrary to that, my dad, he has his same friend group from like lower school.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it's also, I feel like that's kind of the thing. He did football, and so I feel like those football, basketball, and they just stuck together.
Super
they went to
tight-knit.
Ole Miss, and then they all went medical routes and came back, and they still like, he does a lake trip every year
With them?
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I want to do. Like, what's it called? It's not ritual. It's we call it a vacation do every year with the same group of people.
Yeah, just
Is it a ritual?
kind of. I feel like ritual, it seems a little weird.
Yeah,
to put it like that, but it's just like some. I forget the correct word for it, but there's something like that.
But like, that's the kind of stuff that honestly makes everything worth it.
Just those non-negotiable things that you have to show
Like,
up.
we're going on this trip every single year.
Yeah, and you have to, and that's what keeps friendships alive. Just making the effort.
Yeah, because you think about like relationships. Obviously, they take a ton of effort, but people don't realize friendships are the same way.
Yeah,
At least for guys, it's a little easier. like if we like when I wasn't here in the fall because I was working, we didn't see each other for 4 months, and then you picked me up in January. It's like I saw you yesterday.
Yeah.
You know. But when it comes and like this is not me saying it's the case for everyone, but girls are a little different than guys. I feel like because you can run into a lot more problems with just being I don't know petty or rude, and they're wired differently than us. You know,
They're more emotional.
yeah, 100%, and they're better at communicating things than like guys. You know, I heard this thing the other day. It's like I don't know if I told you, but like women are like 10th degree black belts when it comes to emotional warfare.
Yep.
And then men can't even tell you how they feel.
Yeah, I think
you ask a man how he's doing, he's just like, yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
and he probably got fired yesterday, and he's like, dog is dying, but yeah, I'm all right. Like,
that's $10,000 at the casino.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Not like I lost 3 months of my paycheck.
Could be worse. But I mean, that's why I'm thankful because it's not that I'm thankful that my friendships don't take a lot of effort. It's just nice to know that there's not a consistent barrier of like, if you don't do this for me, I'm not going to be your friend.
Yeah.
And you'll notice when you go through phases of your life and when you put a lot of effort into someone and maybe that someone isn't a part of your life anymore, the people that come up and like take care of you or like show you that, hey, you're going to be all right. It's very rare. Those are the ones that necessarily you put all the effort and work into.
Yeah. And I like how you said, most people don't realize that friendships or how relationships are. They have the same word. They are relationships, but one is a little more serious, obviously, but you have to treat them the same. If somebody's treating you bad, you got to cut them off.
Yep.
And with friendships, it seems a lot harder to do that because it's just a friend. It's some low maintenance relationship that you have, but you got to cut them off if they're holding you down.
It's so difficult. I've never had to cut off a friend, but I don't know, one of my friends took like $1,000 from me. I don't talk to him anymore, obviously, but it's like, I can't imagine like, say one of your friends is just going a different path and you guys know that it just really doesn't make sense for you guys to stay in contact. Like that honestly is worse than a breakup because it's like you said, it's a friendship.
Yeah.
I never really thought about that.
You usually also have known this friend a lot longer than relationships that break up that fast, but
usually. But there are usually the best relationships are friendships first.
Yeah, that is because it's more important to be friends with somebody. You can't not be friends and then spend the rest of the life together.
No,
y'all got to have similar interests.
I mean, I think about all the relationships that are around us when it comes to our friends, and it's sad, but there's not a single one where I'd want to be in.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, all of my friends are single, and very few of them have girlfriends. And like, this is gonna sound messed up, but it's just not something I would want to be in right now.
Yeah. I think right now is more me oriented. Just the season of my life that I'm in, and I think that's how for most of us are. I mean, we're about to get out of college. I always have time for a relationship if it came to it, but I'd rather spend my time trying to look for a job, kind of get my life situated, find a house, maybe.
And you'll find that
be rich,
that future partner, because I'm sure you will find someone. I doubt you're gonna be alone for the rest of your life. I'm sure. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. But you'll find that person will be appreciative that you did that. Because honestly, no one wants to be in a relationship with someone that doesn't know, where they want to work or where they want to live, or, they're just trying to get to tomorrow. Because that puts a lot of pressure on the relationship. Like imagine, you get out of college and you're still trying to figure out where you live, but you have this girlfriend that wants to live here, but you don't want to live there, and it just causes a big mess.
And also, if you're going through the season of trying to figure yourself out, it's okay to tell people that you really care about that. I can't be putting this time into it. I need this time for myself.
Yep.
And if they really care about you, they'll stay around.
Yeah, 100%. And there's something to say that when the smoke settles, who is still there?
Yeah.
And usually you want to make sure that you continue to keep those relationships close. I'll talk about my breakup because I love talking about it. But I think about the person you talked about compound interest. And when you're in a relationship, it's very common that you put a lot of time, money, and effort into that someone because you obviously are in a relationship. You're in a relationship with them, and that's what people in relationships do. You spend a lot of time with each other.
Yep.
And then forbid something happens, you kind of feel wrong because all that money, time, and effort was put into something that essentially went to zero. If you want to base it like a stock, like a flatline, sometimes it even goes into the negative. You're like, how'd that happen?
Yeah.
And what I found is the people that I didn't really talk to a lot when this happened over the summer, and I was obviously with this person more than I was with my friends, those were the ones that were still there.
Yeah.
It wasn't the person that I got flowers for or took on dinner dates or took on vacation. It was the people that I like maybe hung out with like once a month. Yeah. And that really opened my eyes. And my brother said this to me. He's like, Jack, you got to realize you put so much time and effort into someone that isn't there anymore. But look who's still there. It's
Yep.
me as your older brother, and you don't do shit for me. Like we have a very low maintenance relationship.
Yep.
You know, it's people like, you know, Lewis, Kareem, and Zach. I don't know if you guys are watching this. People I didn't really hang out with. They were there still. Like it's so eye opening that when everything is going, when shit's hitting the fan, you really got to stop and look and be like, okay, you're still there. You're still there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gone, but you know.
Yeah, you got to turn off your brights when you're in the fog.
Oh, I like that. Clip that. You got to turn off your brights when you're in the fog. I mean, but obviously we're similar in the fact where we both kind of took that semester off from college. Me, obviously, because I was homesick and I kept trying to do it and I kept failing. You know, I made it my first year, fall and spring. Made it my first fall sophomore year, and then obviously went home in the spring. And I can attest a lot of, not that I'm successful or that I've done everything right, but again, when it comes to certain small decisions, completely changed my trajectory. Because I kind of took that time off, I was able to think, okay, I was business undecided. Maybe business isn't for me. Maybe I want to get into CM, construction management.
Yep.
Maybe since I'm not in school right now, I could try and find an internship and do classes, do online, obviously.
Something like that.
And I was able to do that. And then at one point when I didn't come back, I was like, well, I fucked up. You know, I failed. Jackie's out there, my best friend. You're out there, obviously, now, my new best friend. And, you know, never once was there like pressure on me to like get back out there and you're making the wrong decision. I feel like you guys kind of had that trust in me. They're like, okay, he's kind of doing things a little differently, but, you know, all we can do is support him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously thought the best thing was to get back out here from the get-go, and I think I expressed that to you multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only so much somebody can do, and you probably realized it too. You just had to wait for the right time.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time. And I just like if I never took that time off, I don't know where I would be. I think I would have dropped out and just stopped college. Yeah, I needed that break.
Yeah, sometimes you did.
It helped me out a lot. And then you obviously you didn't take as much time off as me, but did you kind of find last spring when you were home and we were all out here, did you find that did it help you find answers at all?
Yeah, so I originally wanted to be a dentist or orthodontist and go to dental school.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't sit with the fact of doing more school and spending more money to do that. Like 7 more years after undergrad.
So it's 11 total?
Yeah. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to set up my life before that happened. And I think there's better routes that I could go with whatever people I know. And I just had no idea. So I felt like I was just running around in circles doing school. And I had no idea what I wanted. I obviously thought I did. Mm-hmm. And made me, I was so caught up in trying to do all this different things. And once I took a step back for a little bit, and once I finally heard or whatever happened, I thought, this is what I want to do. I want to do medical sales. And I was like, now I actually feel like I have a reason for doing school and all that.
Yep.
But before then, it was like so hard to stay on top of it and be present in my education.
It's super frustrating going through the motions, and then you kind of get to the point of, wait, why am I doing this? I'm not sure if I actually want to do that. And you know, you're 22, but at the time, what were you, 20? You're 20 or 21 when you kind of had the revelation of maybe orthodontistry isn't for me?
I was 20.
20, yeah.
I was thinking about it first semester of junior year.
Okay. And to have that honest of a conversation with yourself that young is honestly pretty impressive. You'll find a lot of people come out of college with a degree that maybe their parents told them to get, or maybe they thought they liked it, or maybe, you know, you ask a lot of people, oh, you know, why do you want to do that? Because I'll make a lot of money, you know, and then you graduate and you figure out, I'm miserable doing this. And the fact that you're able to pivot and not pigeonhole yourself into being an orthodontist because at one point you wanted to do it and at another point you decided to change.
Yeah, I always thought it was cool. I mean, the way I found out about it was from somebody's dad at my summer camp. Camp Ozark, by the way. Haven't shouted it out yet. Also a great part of my life. But he was talking about how he was an orthodontist, and that sounded cool. Shadowed, thought it was cool. And then the more I went on with it, I felt like it was going to be a mundane lifestyle, just kind of same thing over and over again. And I wanted to kind of have a little more option when it comes to my career and not be stuck on this until I'm 30.
Yep.
And Yeah, that was just kind of a big deal, and I didn't really know at the time what I wanted to do,
Mhm.
obviously, and I just needed that
The-
time off.
yeah. Because like you said, when you're going through the motions and you're super busy and you're doing something that you're really not sure why you're doing, there's almost a breaking point. At least there was for me. I remember coming back my sophomore year in the fall, and I was going to classes. I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And then, oh, I'm
Cool.
doing this because that's the next step. You graduate high school and you go to college. You
Yep.
go to college and you get a job. And at no point was I sitting down and thinking, what do I want? You
Yep.
know, I'm just going through the motions.
Yep.
And I'm so thankful, I'm sure you are too, that I had that honest conversation with myself early on,
Yeah.
because it is a very scary thought to go through 4 years of college. And I'm blessed to not, have to pay for my college through scholarships and through my family helping me out, obviously.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine coming out with, nowadays, it's at least 200 grand worth of debt in a degree you don't like, and you're working
Yeah.
a job that doesn't pay you well. God
Yeah.
forbid you can get a job right now. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I would say, uh, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about. Oh yeah, I was while I was like switching my I thought I wanted to switch my major
Mhm.
because after I chose that my degree specifically for dental school, and after I wanted to change it, I just felt there was no point in even doing it because I've like what was the point? I wanted to do something else. Like I wanted to do business or something like that.
Mhm.
Just had no idea, but that's where I thought I wanted to be, and it was like I tried to switch my major and it put me behind a semester, and it was like in hindsight it was a mistake, but in retrospect I didn't know any better.
Mhm.
It's what I wanted to do. I could have reached out and like gotten advice from other people,
Yeah.
but uh in return I think it was for the better.
Mhm.
I think things happen for a reason, and I think that taught me a valuable lesson of uh kind of maybe put more thought into like every day, kind of like sit with yourself, kind of track where you're going, kind
Mhm.
of maintain your goals in your day-to-day life, and make sure you're on the right track and you're still doing something that you want to do. And that's something that I didn't do, and it kind of threw off my path, and then I got back on it coming back into school
Yeah.
and kind of realized where I needed to be.
Mhm. It's stressful because for the first time in your life, you're not really being told what to do. You're kind of given the reins of, okay, you gotta steer now. I'm no longer gonna be, when it comes to your parents, they're not gonna be with you in college. They're not gonna be telling you to get up to go to class. They're not gonna be telling you, they can kind of give you advice on, oh, maybe you should try this or maybe you would like that. But ultimately it is up to you. And a big pet peeve I have is when it comes to thinking about where you want to go to school, or if you even want to go to school. I feel like you have that one summer because you graduate high school obviously in June. Like, did you graduate in June?
Yeah,
May, June-ish?
I may. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have July.
Yeah.
If you graduate in June, you have 1 month in July. You graduate in May, you have June, July, August. Obviously, you need to be packing up your shit and getting ready to go to college. And I feel like the rate of people not completing college is so high because you have a month or two to decide.
Yep.
And it forbid you go for sports or you get early acceptance or early decision, because obviously when you apply to college, if you really want to get into a certain school,
Yep.
you can get in easier if you commit to that school right away.
Yep. 100%.
And there's just not a lot of time that goes into it. I am, like, personally, I know most of my friends back home started college and they got to like maybe the second semester of their freshman year and they just left.
Yeah. When did you decide to come to Arizona?
Gosh, I knew. So my family college story is insane. I don't know if you know this. I'll tell it. My oldest brother, Steven, school, like he's wicked smart. He's like a Mensa candidate or whatever. They tested him for his IQ in high school just because
Yep.
he's so, you hear the stories about him. He's so unique.
Yeah.
He's unlike, and you've never met him, and you
Yeah.
already know like this guy's a character. And he has always been infatuated with music. His senior year, he
Yep.
could solve any math problem, any psychology question, any philosopher he knows about. Like, it's ridiculous how he can retain information. But he doesn't care for that kind of stuff. He likes music.
Yep.
He likes being in a band. He likes posting on social media. He likes all that stuff. So he moved to LA with his girlfriend at the time. They spent some time out there. My second brother, Kyle, he was always struggling when it came to school. He wasn't as
Mhm.
smart as Steven. And my parents gave him the ultimatum. He wasn't doing well at our local high school. And they said, if you don't get this certain GPA, we're going to send you to a private Catholic school, which obviously Catholic schools, you graduate from there, you have a significantly better chance of getting to a better school just because it's a private Catholic school. So he obviously didn't improve, got sent to East Catholic, was miserable there. I mean, I want to air out his dirty laundry, but he couldn't function. He was just like me. He would just sit in the bathroom stalls because he had no friends there.
Yeah.
He was stuck into a school. They literally pulled him in the middle of the semester, in the middle of the football season.
Yeah.
And he went to play. They put him at nose guard. And mind you, he's like 6'2", like 180 pounds, and he's playing nose guard.
Yeah.
And he was like, screw all this. Got brought back to Ellington, graduated from Ellington, went to Merrimack, which is a college in Massachusetts. And mind you, Steven's still across the country doing his thing in LA. And he went to Merrimack for, I think, 6 days.
Yeah.
And then he called my mom and he's like, you got to come get me. And Merrimack's a very small private school in Massachusetts. I compare it to, I don't know, picture like a super rural town in Arkansas, and like where there's just nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of, there's the college and that's about it.
Yeah.
Versus ASU, you have Tempe, then you have Phoenix, you have Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And he went 6 days there, came back home, left, ended up doing community college and did that 2 routes. So my whole childhood, a lot of people think about their older brothers or older siblings as role models, and they have to be better than their brothers, or their brothers have to show them the way, of their sister in your case. I never viewed my brothers as that. I feel like they always gave me the opportunity of, I can see what they're doing and see what routes they're going, and I can either go that route or not go that route.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, success has so many different ways of showing itself. I think because my brother Steven didn't go to college, that doesn't mean he's successful or not successful.
Yeah.
He showed me that there's another route. When everyone was going to college, he went across the country and probably learned more about himself than most people ever do. And one day I was just sitting and I was talking to them and I was asking, like, do you regret not going to college, or college, do you regret not finishing Merrimack? Like, you only went there a week. He says, no, I don't regret any of it. Because I knew I was having the honest conversation like you and I did, and that just wasn't for me. I wanted to leave. And long story short, my dad mentioned, you know, Arizona because he works out here, and I was like, I'll tour it. Why not? Came out here, to your point, the palm trees, the beach. I remember me and Jackie went on the little tour, and we're at the SDFC pool, and you know, there's some prospects, and we're like, this is college. Like,
This is the life.
Yeah. There's amazing people out here, and you know, I'll never forget. I told my dad, "Yep, I'm going." And he's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" I was like, "Yep, let's do it." But because my brothers kind of showed me that, you know, even if you don't finish college or you don't go to college, like, that doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
You know, because I know people who go to college and they know people who go to college ended up being miserable anyways for 4 years, still graduate, still get a job they don't like. So it's all in retrospect, to your point.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And what time of your senior, did you decide senior year?
That I was going to college or ASU?
Yeah, ASU.
Probably April.
Okay, so really late.
Yeah, so late. I always knew college was the answer. I don't know if you're like this, but super indecisive.
Yeah.
Like I am. Are you that way, or you know how to make decisions pretty well?
I'd say when it comes to everyday things,
Yeah.
I don't really. I would say I'm less decisive about those things, but I would say if it's more of a bigger scale thing, I'm
Think
more
about it.
decisive.
Yeah. And I think it took me so long is because I was running like so many different scenarios. I was thinking, okay, I could go to UConn and be a lot more comfortable and have my friend groups and have, you know, my mom, my brothers, my sisters there. Or I could literally go almost as far as possible. California would have been a little further.
Yeah.
Across the country. I'd have my best friend. I'd have my dad, but my dad travels a lot. Obviously, you know this, so it's not like I have him all the time.
Yeah.
And then like one day, I don't know if I did a coin flip or I was just, I got to make a decision because you're right. It's already April and I'm not signed up yet. I was like, okay, screw it. I'm going to ASU.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine was, like I said, it just felt right. And my parents sat me down so many times and said, let's do a checklist, pros and cons list of each school.
So good. I love pros and cons.
And I felt pretty pointless with it because I already pretty much decided in my mind that ASU is where I was going to go, but I just kind of did it to please them because sometimes that's what you do. But
it's a good son right there.
So I did it, and it obviously gave them their peace of mind that they needed. That made it seem like a right fit for me. But I just always knew ever since I saw it.
I was talking to this. Bless you.
Thanks.
You got another one coming, or that's it?
No, I think I'm one.
Okay.
One and done.
I was talking with Marcus about this because we grew up very differently. His parents were always checking his grades, making sure he was doing well in school. And my parents were kind of like, not the opposite, but they are like, this is your life. Like, you're either going to mess it up or you're going to do well. I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. And that's how it was when it came to college. I think that's also why it was a little harder. It's not that it's nice being forced, but when you're kind of like pushed a little bit, it kind of gives you like a kick, like, okay, you got to do this. But my parents were like, look at your brothers. They've gone so many different paths, turned around, came back up, went down that path again, and then turned around. You can do what you want. And having that much of a decision on me has definitely improved my decision-making skills, because when it came to changing my major, I remember you and I went to the construction school when I first transferred.
That was dope.
Like, I was like, this is a big decision. And again, I go to my dad and I'm like, hey, because he's a finance guy, he's a business guy. I'm like, I'm thinking about going into construction management. And most parents would have been like, well, why do you want to do that? Or I don't understand. Or I thought you liked business. He was like, do what you want. I trust that you're going to make the right decision. So again, I have the reins the whole time, and I ended up making the change, and super grateful I did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I just kind of thought that I wanted to switch my major, was trying to, and then didn't end up because it was just going to take too much schooling. And so I just kind of stayed with what I had, and it ended up working out.
It's so stressful. I'm glad it worked out for you, and I'm glad it worked out for me, because there's nothing more scary. I'm sure you've had these feelings where you're just sitting in your bed and you're like, okay, I just did all this school and I'm going across the country and I'm not even sure why, like right now.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy when you have, the end designation, like, okay, I'm going to graduate and I'm going to go into law and then I'm going to be a lawyer. But I've never had that clear goal. It's always been kind of a little foggy.
Yeah.
I knew college. I knew Arizona State. I didn't know what major. I didn't know what city. I didn't know anything at all.
I had the foggy, I always, like you said, going to college, going to dental school, going to orthodontic school. I always had that route, but I always had the second thought in my mind where, like, I don't know if I really want to do this. And it ended up pushing its way to the forefront of my brain, and I kind of just had to act upon it, because it wasn't what I wanted to do ultimately.
Yeah, I think so. My she graduated. She's doing community college right now. I think that is such a good option if you really are unsure. It worked out for us because obviously we have a great support group, and we knew a little bit what we want to do, but not fully. So we were able to kind of like, okay, take some time off and still figure it out. But if you're going to college and you're not getting good grades and you're not really happy where you are, but you think you just have to tough it out, I honestly don't think that's smart. I think taking time off and deciding what your exact path is.
Yeah.
Because in high school, it's college or trade school, and they don't really talk about trades. It's more like if you don't go to college, you're not going to be successful, which is not true at all.
Yeah.
Look how many kids are graduating and are unemployed. I'm pretty sure is it at an all-time high?
I think it's
recent college grads and unemployment.
I think it's up there.
It's
sure.
It's not good at all. And
trade school was never an idea that I even thought of.
Yeah,
nobody from my height.
They don't talk about it. It's not. If you're an electrician or a plumber or pipe fitter or iron worker, it's like, oh, what, you weren't smart enough to go to college, or you?
Yeah, but sometimes those people are smarter than.
Yeah, and the ones that open businesses and are going to be.
Like, I know
millionaires pretty damn fast.
I know a lot of blockheads that go to school here.
Yeah.
And they would not be able to pass a week in any trade.
No, especially in like an apprenticeship program where obviously there's a technical skill and you got to be smart, but the amount of like stuff you got to deal with mentally, because that is a very, very, it's a nose of the grindstone industry.
Yeah, they can shovel gravel for a full day.
Yeah,
they give up.
Yeah, and like the banter, like if you show up, say you got to be at work at 5 a.m. and you show up at like 5 a.m. They're like, some of them were there at like 4:30 in the morning. He's like, dude, what are you guys doing? Like, you don't sleep? Like, nope, got to go to work.
Yeah, that was just never something I ever thought of. But I also just never even thought about doing that kind of job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got out here and I did end up doing that kind of job, and I thought it was a lot of fun, obviously. And it kind of realized, like, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I obviously want a different job.
Yeah, which
is the best part about summer jobs, like trying out new things or setting your future up, kind of setting up your resume. But yeah, it was a good experience for me, and I think everybody should do some sort of labor intensive job.
I couldn't agree more. And to your point, when you try jobs that, even if you think you don't like it, as long as you can confirm that.
Yeah.
Say you can't imagine ever, like you said, residential home building. Like, I would never want to do it, but you do it for a summer. You're like, wait, that was actually kind of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you find out, like, okay, you could manage the project, you could run your own business, you could become a carpenter. Like, there's so many different avenues, and you can't get to those conclusions without doing stuff. So I agree. Try a lot of things when you're young.
Oh yeah, and then there was like some aspects of that job that I think are really cool, and I could see myself doing it, but I'm not going to pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
Only as maybe something I do on the side later in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and then going through the job too, it sucked. Just like it's one of those things where, like, as you said, oh, I got to work, wake up every day and go do it, and you just gotta fight through it. And luckily, I had like an ending date, so there's something like work towards.
That's why I love internships too. Even if you hate it, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna be here long. You know?
Yeah, I'm gone soon.
No matter what, I'm on a flight back to school.
Yeah.
And that another reason why you really have to think on what industry you want to go into, because I don't understand how, and this isn't common, but certainly does happen. People end up working jobs they hate for 5-10 years because they think they're stuck.
But you're really not.
You're not. I get if you have a family and you have a house and you have bills, like you feel you're pigeonholed and you need this salary and you need that company. You get fired. You know, the economy could crash and you lose your job no matter what. So life is way too short, and we're only here on this fucking earth for a finite amount of time. So if you really do hate something, I'd recommend trying other things or getting out of it as soon as possible, because you don't want to be the 40-year-old working a dead-end job, going home to the wife that you hate and kids that you can't stand.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's where you failed ultimately.
Yeah, and even for people our age, like, you just gotta, even if you're at a steady job where you could see yourself building up, I think you should always be looking for some other opportunity where in another company or another line of work.
Yeah, like stay hungry, don't get complacent.
Exactly.
I agree. Something I want to rotate into when you think about I don't know why I said it like that. When you think about, your past relationships, when it comes to women, how have your kind of, what you look for changed as you've grown up? Because obviously, you probably started dating like 16, 17, or were you late bloomer?
My first girlfriend was sophomore year.
Okay, so
college.
So 18, 19,
19.
19, and has kind of like what you
18,
look
19.
for, or kind of what you're interested in when it comes to them change at all? Or are you still, like, she has to be pretty, she has to be funny? Like, what has it changed at all for you?
Yeah, for sure. You after having your first relationship, you realize a lot about yourself and kind of what you need to do. Your emotional intelligence is obviously going to be at an absolute zero for the most part, because there's no way to experience that thing without being in a relationship. And but yeah, there's definitely certain things that I look for. I'd say one of the main things that I feel like a lot of people don't really say is competitiveness.
Okay.
I like a competitive side to somebody, and I think that goes into everything, like with your line of work, your life, and wanting to just kind of strive to be better all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the number one things that I look for. And one of the like top 3, I'd say.
But for a 22-year-old to say competitiveness is a trait, that's pretty impressive.
I think that's like,
usually it's pretty superficial stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's some superficial things that are cool.
Oh yeah, obviously, but
yeah, that's not obviously. I want my future wife to be attractive, but I'd say the other thing that like I think about most is my kids. Like, I want to set my kids up the best. So I obviously want her to be smart, because I want my kids to be smart.
Yep.
Competitive. I like my kids to be competitive, but like for instance, my mom's not super athletic, but she's still very competitive. Like, she's always striving to be the top in her company whenever she was working.
Yep.
And always trying to outperform everybody else around her. Like, that kind of thing. Like, maybe she's not athletic, but she has
that drive.
Yeah, the drive is the right word. That's the kind of thing that I look for.
It's interesting growing up when it comes to, there's some scientific word, I forget what it is, but when you look at your mother as a son, you kind of find yourself looking at attributes that your mother has in women. Like, my mom's very funny, and I find I'm always looking for. I'm like you. I'm not really looking for a girlfriend. I'm trying to figure out my own stuff, and I find, like, just reflecting about, like, girls that, not that I want to date, but girls I enjoy interacting with are usually funny. That they know how to light up a room. And do you know what it's called when biology, when you look at your parents?
I forget what it's called, but there is like also like research backing that, like, dudes look for somebody that's like their mom, and girls look for somebody that's like their dad.
Yeah.
And that's like the daddy issue thing. Like, if some, like, for instance, I guess like a way to put it is like, if you have like dad that's not like super nice all the time, you're gonna look for a dude you're not gonna like necessarily want that, but you're gonna see that and be attracted to it.
Mhm.
For
It's what you
whatever
grow up
reason.
seeing, yeah.
But I know I forget the term for what you're talking about, but
I'll paste it, but I remember reading it and then thinking, that's actually true.
yeah,
It's very rare where I'm reading something about, relationships and how emotions work and what you look for in a partner. And then I was like, wait, that makes 100%.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's crazy how reading teaches you a lot.
Yeah.
You read every now and then, you somehow get smarter.
Speaking of reading, we want to do a segment on my favorite book personally is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Hayden will tell you I'm reading this book 365 days for the past 4 years. I've been reading this book.
Yeah, we used to go to the SDFC, the university gym and pool, and he'd pull that thing out, and we'd be hanging out there at freshman year, and I saw him pull it out like a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, dude, come on, you can't finish the book.
No, it's not that I haven't finished it. It's just a rule about this book is you have to continue reading it.
Yeah, that's what it says.
You can never put it down.
I think in like the introduction it says, if you stop reading it for a while, come back and reread it.
Mhm.
But I started reading it too. And I'm gonna make my son read it, my daughter as well.
Yeah, the funny thing about this book and to your story is I remember sitting by the school pool and I was reading it, open book. So like anyone that could walk by could see it. And a girl walked up to me. She's like, you need to learn like how to win friends. Like, do you not have a lot of friends? And I was like, you're the exact reason I'm reading this book because it talks about how to treat people. And even if you're being treated poorly, don't ever go to that kind of level. And I was like, no, it's actually like a book on like psychology and business. And it's actually pretty insightful. And she's like, okay. And just kept walking.
It's actually really insane, the things that are in this book.
So good.
For just a couple pieces of paper, the amount of influence that it gives you. And you also like it also says to annotate it. Like you can see he's been annotating. I've been annotating mine.
Underlining, highlighting, yeah.
What I'm doing with mine is I'm doing my first read through in like a blue color. And I'm gonna read through it again and underline in a second color, see what things I picked up that are different. But yeah,
there's that a lot. There's
certain things in there that and it gives so many examples from history, which I think is really cool. And it makes obviously the things in the book are true because I've applied them into my life and noticed how different people react to you. And
insane. The psychology behind it. I mean, it's really fascinating how, not that you can take control, but you could really get into someone's mind just by like not hyping them up, but treating them nicely, like going with charisma. When you ask for things, be lavish in your approach. I want to pick out a principle in here.
Smiling.
Give out this. It's crazy because this is like my number thing. I'm always talking about gratitude and gratefulness. Principle 2: give honest and sincere appreciation.
Yep.
That sounds so small. Like a lot of people would really be like, "Oh yeah, I say thank you." That's not what it means at all.
Yeah.
It means like you're on this podcast. Like, thank you for being here. Like, you're my best friend. I appreciate your insight.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Do you feel like it feels weird to say, but
yeah, it
works.
It feels weird to say, and then whenever somebody says it to you, you're like, thanks.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you all warm. And especially for guys, I told the story about my coworker's dog dying, which is horrible. And you could tell that he hadn't been hugged in probably months, and he just broke down.
Oh, yeah.
Like for a guy to hear like that you're appreciated of him, or you're grateful you know him, or you're sorry for his loss, but you're not just gonna say the words, you're actually gonna embrace him and hug him. It's so fascinating. So if you're a guy and you have guy friends out there, I encourage you to have these kind of honest conversations with them because you'll find the friendship becomes so much stronger. I'm all for David Goggins did and Jocko Willink and harder than last time and being a fucking brute, but that'll only get you so far.
Yeah, there's also the Patty Pimblett side of things. You gotta please talk to your friends, mate. Yeah, whatever he says, I forget what he says. But he's talking about
suicide. He's like, you got to stop killing yourselves. You got to talk about it.
You got to stop killing yourselves, boys. Talk to your friends.
It's so true because so many conversations, you'd be surprised, help a lot of people out.
Oh, yeah. And
that's just one. I mean, honest and sincere appreciation. And here it is. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. I don't even know how to read that.
Yeah, I read it. One thing that I read the other day was like you hear it all the time in like Christianity, but it's also something that is just real, is treat others how you want to be treated. And most people don't do that because in the book it also says everybody's most important person is themselves. And it's hard to always look at somebody and try and treat them as you would want to be treated. But I try and do that. Like people come ask me to do something and I don't really want to do it. I'd be like, well, I kind of would want that to happen for myself. So I'm more inclined to do it. And it also makes that person feel more appreciated. Even if you don't get anything out of it, you get the ultimate prize, which is making somebody feel better.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's not a clear trade-off of what you gain from it. And that's not, and sometimes you just have to kind of bite the bullet on it and accept that you're helping people and making them feel good about themselves.
And a big thing with that is a lot of people I know are good with that role. They're very good at treating people well, but then they forget to treat themselves well. Like I know so many people that self-loathe and talk so much crap about themselves and think they're an idiot or they're stupid and they suck. But then they'll go out and treat people like amazing. Like you need to treat yourself. Like they talk about, you need to love yourself first before you ever go out and look for love. Because if you're not internally your biggest fan, you're doing it all wrong.
Of course.
Like I'm sure you've had points, and I've had points where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm an idiot. Why did I do that? Or I'm gonna fail. Nothing good ever happens. From that.
You just gotta pick yourself up, dust off the shoulder, and
because no one's gonna do it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, people can say like, hey, you doing all right, man? Or hey, let's go get back. But at the end of the day, you're alone in your thoughts, and you really do need to love yourself. And I do encourage anyone that feels like they're not doing well or they suck or they're not worth anything. Don't think that way, because there's only a bad outcome to that. There's nothing good from ever talking crap about yourself.
Yeah, you're your own worst enemy.
100%. And enough people already have opinions and judge you, so you should not do it yourself.
Yeah.
You're just adding to the fire.
Yeah, don't add one more, especially when it's the loudest one.
Was that your quote?
I just made that up off the dome.
Don't add one more, especially when yours is the loudest one. And then another, I'm going to clip that. That's a good one.
Freaking genius, dude.
This one is, it's so hard to understand, but then when you reflect and you're like, okay, it makes sense. You can't win an argument. Oh my gosh.
How many times?
How many arguments have you been
in? Probably not enough.
Have you ever left an argument like, yeah, that was awesome?
Maybe if it's like somebody that you don't know and you're like, oh,
yeah,
like some like stupid argument that you get into like at a bar or something like that. And that's like, but probably not.
Yeah.
You're never like,
even if you win, that person has now perceived.
And it's also like, it's never like that important for the most part. And it usually just sucks. It's negative emotions and compounds on each other.
And when you're arguing with someone, I'm sure you'll find they're not listening to you.
Oh yeah.
At all. And you're not listening to them at all. I've never came out of an argument learning something from the other person. Usually I'm like, oh, I could have said this. Or, oh, they would have just heard this point that I made, but they kind of blew over it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the shower repeating everything. It's like, oh, if only I said that.
I would have got them there.
Yeah.
And then, like, I've tried to completely remove arguing out of my arsenal. I don't like arguing. I don't like talking about religion. I don't like talking about politics. It's just all weak conversations.
Yeah.
Very, very weak conversations.
There are time and place for it all.
Mm-hmm.
But
if you're standing up for yourself 100%.
And there's also civil debates, which is a form of argument, but you have to learn how to do that and treat it right.
Mm-hmm. People our age usually don't have that skill yet.
Yeah, you can't have a hole through your head that just things come in and come out the other.
You got 2 ears, 1 mouth, you know?
Yeah.
But when I read that, I was like, oh, okay, I got to start arguing. I mean, Dale Carnegie, I'm pretty sure he has a whole summit you could go to in New York City. It's like a week long, and they talk about the book, and he has multiple books.
I think I read something about that.
But my dad, every person he hires has to read this book. It's a non-negotiable, and you know I can see why. I can see why.
Yeah, whenever I was younger, like my dad got it for my sister, and I was like, I don't remember how old I was, but my sister's a little older than me, and she got it. I was like, you saying I'm lonely or something? Like that kind of thing.
Because like the girl said to me at the pool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you need help getting friends.
Yeah. But once you like dive into it, you realize it's not about that. It's more about giving appreciation for others and realizing that helping others help you.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes everyone better. Anyone who judges this book, I find like doesn't even read nonfiction. Like this is real advice. Like you'll find people who judge these kind of books like only like fiction and like love stories or like action-packed books. It's so nice to pick up such a different topic that you like. I know a lot of you are gonna be like, I would never read a book like that. Just try it. You know, like you read the title, it's like, what? I don't even understand what that means.
Yeah, the freaking it was also the thing. don't judge a book by its cover. Literally the introduction is like, it's something that'll make you want to read the book just from what it says.
He talks about why it's written this way. To your point, how you have to underline it, how you have to keep reading it. Suggestions made out of this book.
Yeah, it's
how to handle people. I mean, I'm starring stuff. I'm underlining stuff.
Yeah, it's like
I don't have enough good things to say about that.
it's like the Bible for relationships.
Yeah, it's one book that you'll see. There's always reels and shorts and TikToks about top 5 necessary books you want to read if you want to be successful.
Yeah, I think
this is always on here.
Yeah.
It's very rare you're going to see a good list of books like 48 Laws of Power, Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't even like Atomic or not 48 Laws of Power. I don't really like it.
Like it was too big of a book?
Not that it was too big of a book. It more felt like kind of a David Goggins type of book where like you're the man.
Yeah.
You can do this, you can do that. And that's not like my way of going about life. Like obviously there's times where you can do that. But that's just motivating myself to do something.
It's a very internally driven book where this is very external. Like they use a plethora of stories of how he'd acquired businesses solely by making sure that the business he bought still had the same name and that owner was obviously more comfortable. Where 48 Laws of Power is, to your point, like you need to be internally your biggest fan. You need to be a monster. You want to learn how to seduce. You need to be the best looking person in the room or think that you are.
It's like, that's not my type of book.
No.
Like I have it, but I'm probably not going to finish it.
I haven't read that one.
I started to, but like I said, I didn't like it. It just wasn't hitting me.
How long have you been reading this book?
I started reading it like a year ago, but I stopped reading it for a little bit, just kind of doing my own thing, and then I picked it back up recently.
Such a good book. I can't recommend this enough.
Yeah, and it's like you also learn about a lot of cool people as well. Like
Dale Carnegie, Rockefeller's in it.
Abraham Lincoln. That's my man. I love him. Charles Schwab.
I thought it was Klaus. Was it Charles?
Yeah, it's Charles.
Charles Klaus is now the owner. I think Charles is Charles' son?
Something like that. But I don't know. But it talks about a lot of cool people. Yeah. And usually the people that it talks about are successful people. And like I think some of my favorite some of the favorite references are from people that I don't even know, and it's just talking about how they just like sent like an email or something or a letter to this person, and I think it's in like the first like section or maybe the second where it's saying
you got how to handle people. Is it in that section?
Yeah, but it's like you gotta make them realize that they like need you or something like that.
Yep.
I forget. And it's like talking about like how some girl just sent the letter, and I think those are cooler because it's like a more of an average day kind of person. I'm not an Abraham Lincoln, right? And that's also a long time ago, but it's like also shows that throughout history, these rules apply themselves, and
they don't go
the
away.
most successful people
use them. So any of you guys who are doom scrolling and just taking in a lot of content but not really quality, I highly recommend you pick up this book. How to Win Friends and Influence sounds weird, but just pick it up and read it.
It sounds narcissistic.
It does.
It's the least narcissistic book.
The Hayden's point. Do not judge a book by its cover, especially this one.
And you can seriously change your life around with that book if you just actually do what the introduction says and keep reading it and apply yourself.
Yeah, just stay disciplined, stay consistent with this. I mean, I've been reading this book for 4 years. I don't read it as much as I should, but every time I pick it up, I mean, you could open any page to any chapter and read something and be like, okay, I could apply this to my life.
Yeah, and sometimes you're going through something and you need a little advice. And Dale Carnegie's your man.
Right here. I do have a discount code. No, I don't have a discount code.
A little promo.
All right, but pivoting, I want to talk about, because you're one of my only friends that is actually intrigued when it comes to content creation and social media.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to know where that stems from. Just something you did as a kid, obviously.
I think one of my biggest goals in life is to inspire people and make people kind of uplift people. Yeah. For instance, I see a lot of Mac Miller fans, and they say all the time, "Yeah, he's the reason I didn't kill myself." And I want to hear that about myself, not to inflate my ego or anything,
But
to know that I have that kind of impact on somebody's life. I
Yep.
think that's my biggest goals in life. And I think the two easiest ways to do that are through music and content creation.
Mhm.
And I think I have, I think I could do music if I really wanted it, but I think I'm more inclined to do content creation just because that's the kind of lifestyle that I think vibes with me better.
Yeah. I think it's awesome that you're almost looking for that piece that will fulfill you, because you'll find, you might have the college degree, you might have the full-time job, you might have the family, but you're not really being fulfilled. You're not really sure what that thing is, but for you to know that you want to inspire people, or you even want to make people, happier and talk people off that ledge, or just be inspired.
Yeah.
I think that's such a great goal and a great story. And it's the same thing for me. I think about why I do this, like why I do podcasts, why I post on TikTok, why I post on YouTube. I love talking to people. I love the conversations. I love the camaraderie. We always talk about how disconnected we are. Like no one's
Yeah.
talking. I don't know many 22-year-olds who are having this honest and mature of a conversation, talking about a great book at this age. I think it's super inspiring. And I've gotten so many texts where, honestly, when I started posting, I'd probably been posting for like 3 weeks, which isn't a long time at all. But I
Yeah.
was astonished by the amount of text I got saying, I like what you're doing, keep it up.
Yeah.
Or, dude, like you could actually go somewhere with this if you stay consistent. Or, hey, I would love to be on the podcast. And I actually had a girl DM me about I talked about relationships in one of my podcasts. And this isn't a girl I'm not close with at all. Like I consider her a friend. I do have friends that are girls. I know it's shocking. and she was like, I get what you're saying about the bar scene and the hookups. And I just feel like sometimes like I'm just wasting my time. Like I'm talking to a dude at the bar. Like he doesn't want to get to know me. He doesn't care about what I'm doing or why I'm at school.
Yeah.
He just cares about some bullshit thing that I'm not going to say what it is, but it's nothing genuine.
Yeah.
And it's like DMs like that and text messages like, hey man, keep going. It's like, wow, there actually is an opportunity in this space.
Yeah. People are just nowadays are so infatuated with instant gratification, and it really ruins it just ruins your life, just chasing that maybe like hour high for something.
It's so bad.
And it also just it destroys your mind. And doing this type of stuff is awesome. I think it's cool. That's cool that you're doing it and really giving it your all.
There's nothing more than the opposite, instant gratification, when it comes to posting on social media. I'll film like a 2-hour podcast and get like 30 views, but in this day and age, a lot of people can't handle that. So that's where I'm kind of reversing the polarity, where like, if I'm seeing that and still continuing, how many people are seeing that and not?
Yeah.
Not many at all. Yeah. Maybe people make it like 6 months and then stop, or a year and then stop. But if it all boils down to consistency. I don't care what it is in life. Like if you consistently do drugs, you're going to be a bad person. Yeah. If you consistently post on social media, you're probably going to blow up, Yeah,
if you actually are trying. Like if you just throw something out there every couple.
If you're consistently just hooking up with chicks and not getting to know any of them, you're probably going to be alone for the rest of your life. Consistently across the board can be applied to so many things. Internships. If you're consistently applying the internships, you're probably going to get an internship.
Yeah. I like that goes I mean the biggest thing with that is just always bettering yourself as well. And like you can do all these things, like say you like work out every day, but you're only doing like 30-minute like workouts that aren't really like that intensive.
Yeah.
Like you'll obviously slowly make gains and kind of look better, obviously. But if you give it your all every session and kind of are in there and go until failure, you're gonna get a lot stronger, a lot faster. And that's like the same thing with anything. If you're doing the hardest drugs possible, you're gonna end up on the street pretty fast.
Yep.
Let's say you're doing like like doing coke every once in a while. I mean, you might be a bum for a little bit.
Yeah, but you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll make it out the mud.
Yeah.
And that also comes with being authentic to yourself. In this day and age, when it comes like AI and scrolling, like you could be distracted for hours and really not get a lot done. But to your point, if you say, okay, I'm going to work out for, hey, it's going to be an hour, but I'm going to give it my all for this hour.
Oh, yeah.
Or I'm going to film this YouTube video, but I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna care about the edits. I'm gonna care about the on-screen captions, how it's filmed, who's in it, who's not in it.
Yeah.
The more you put into something, the more you'll get out of it. And that's also to say you have to make sure that you know where you're going with it. Because I'm sure you feel like you're doing a lot, but nothing's getting done.
Oh yeah.
And that sucks because you're so busy, you're so stressed, and then you're like, I'm not really going anywhere with this.
Yeah, you see just nothing's changing, but you're just still staying consistent, and sometimes it just takes, like we've been saying this entire time, it just takes a little time that you might need that time.
It's all you need. And it comes with healing, it comes with being successful, it comes with not being successful. I mean, time heals all.
Oh yeah.
And we certainly need to know this after our casino trip today.
Didn't happen.
Yeah. That was not fun at all. But
forget and forget. That's it. Just keep forgetting. I was gonna say forgive, but I'm not forgiving the casino.
We can forgive us. We could forgive ourselves.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, wow. An hour 30 minutes. Yeah. That was awesome. You got anything more you want to talk about, or you satisfied?
I don't really have any talking points. I mean, you have the computer. If you have any cool talking points,
I mean, we hit everything. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then the most important question is the one I end every guest with is, I don't know who the next guest is. You don't know who the next guest is gonna be. What would your opening question be? What do you want to ask this person that you're not sure who it's gonna be? You could take as long as those damn dog donation videos where it's like, I'm coming home. It's like, just take my credit card.
Black and white.
Yeah. The dog's looking at you, the puppy eyes through the cage. It's like,
yeah. Say first thing that came to mind was like your biggest regret.
I like that a lot. Are you sticking with that, or is
write that down for now? Write that down, Jamie.
What is? I do need a Jamie soon. What is your biggest regret?
Or if you want to do something like, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Okay. Those are two questions that I feel bad for the person who's going to get blindsided by these.
Yeah.
Best piece of advice.
Make somebody think a little bit.
Those are great.
Yeah, I like those.
I like those a lot too.
And you can like provide them both, and they can choose one too. Whatever.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Or make them answer both.
I gotta film an outro. I don't know how that. I'm just gonna wait.
You gotta do the outro music.
Yeah, send it off.
But yeah.
So that was your store interaction with Hayden.
Yep.
College roommate, freshman year, still somehow friends.
For some reason, I don't know why.
If you want to find him, that's King of Swag 1052.
No, it's 102. 102.
King of Swag 102. And
plug my socials. Boom, boom.
He also does YouTube, so look out for him. He's gonna be dropping content soon. He's about to upgrade his camera. He'll be dropping funny films. Unlike me, he has a humoristic side. He's not very serious. No, he can't be serious. He was just serious for an hour.
But never doing that again.
That's his 1 hour seriousness for the year.
Yep.
But I love you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
Ciao.